Voridus, my troops and I are nearly at your position at the salvage drills. Have you reached the Forerunner defense station?
Some kind of flood forms block the entrance to the station. It's as if they understand it's a threat to them. We barely even had time to establish a base before they besieged us.
We must reach that station. If we can't reactivate the Forerunner defenses, we will have no chance against the parasite.
We haven't the numbers, Pavium. Each time we kill one, another appears. The flood is everywhere, scattered across every surface, every crack and fissure.
The fissures. That whole area is honeycombed with explosive power. If we can start the salvage drills, we can use them to cause a chain reaction and burn the parasite away.
I will start our extractors up immediately to start stockpiling power. Start the extractors. We'll need all the power we can to start the salvage drills up. Pavium, the power is too unstable for our extractors.
Enemies on the way.
However, there are many small eruptions where the power has crystallized. If we collect them in that state, we can break them down for use in the drills.
Very well, Voridus. I've set up my own operation. We'll start gathering the power we need for the salvage drills.
Hello everybody and welcome to the third mission of my Halo Wars 2 Awakening the Nightmare Legendary Walkthrough Guide. We're going to get started by building a mega turret as well as 2 harvesters on our base. And then we're also going to build a turret over here on the left side because that will be where the flood will attack first. And then we're just going to start taking all these little crystallized power things from around basically our little base area near the drill. Now, Pavium here is just going to take point. He's going to go around killing all the flood while the rest of our forces start to take the power from all these little crystal things. Now, in the meantime, we're going to start getting some upgrades, getting our advanced harvesters, and then trying to get the flood away from our forces. We want to make sure Pavium is the one taking all the punishment here because he has that awesome energy shield, right? So we want to make sure he takes all the punishment from those flood forms. Now, we're going to immediately put one of our grunt squads inside with one of our elite rangers, and then we're just going to keep on going around taking the basically gathering the crystals, the crystallized power from around the drill. Now, the strategy for this mission is just going to be pure air units. We're going to have a small contingency with all the forces that we have inside of our garrison, as well as pretty much Pavium and the Honor Guard, as well as a few engineers to basically hold out with them. But other than that, we're just going to go around the map really, really quickly and gather all the power we can. You see all those little yellow dots that we have on the map? We're going to get pretty much every single one of them. That way we have more than enough power for this mission. Now, part of this mission is to make sure that you are being very economic. You don't want to spend a lot of your funds on upgrades that you don't need, especially since we are only going air. So we do not necessarily need any infantry upgrades. We don't need to upgrade our vehicles. We only need to upgrade our air, our honor guard, as well as maybe our grunt squad, because we'll be using those to hold the garrison. So we might want to use a little bit of upgrades, but we want to try to be as economical as possible. We only want to upgrade the base and basically like upgrade from outpost to citadel, and then citadel to keep. We want to do stuff like that. We want to make sure that we are being extraordinarily economical, and we want to make sure that anything that we spend, we get a return on. So we want to make sure that we like whenever I'm, like, for example, tossing down rain of fire probably would have slowed down my my base building, but the return on that was that I didn't have to waste a lot of my time like having to heal my units. But as you see here, like, that rain of fire did enough damage where I didn't have to really worry about, and all my forces are still still alive. I may have lost a tower, but by the end of this mission you'll have like 30,000 supplies sitting in your stockpile. You'll be more than fine to lose just a few. As you see here, the mega turret is doing its job. We actually wanted to do this. We want the mega turret to kill flood combat forms, there is an objective to do that. And if you can do that successfully, you'll get some awesome points that will help you get that gold medal. Now, once we deal with the left attack, you'll be dealing with a right attack. But this is where things will get a little bit more, where things are starting to get to where it should be. So what you're going to do is you're going to go air units. You're going to start by getting your Banshee production going. You're going to also make sure that you get the honor guard out as well. You're going to keep all your forces at your base except for your air detachment. That detachment's going to go around and destroy all the crystallized power, as well as clear out any flood forces that are nearby. That's basically the main job of the air unit. Now, the honor guard, since he is the fastest ground unit, other than maybe the brute chopper, but I didn't want to spend like honor guard is basically basically a free unit. So we want to make sure that we use it. We want to use him to go gather all the power that we basically get out of those crystals. So with that being said, the honor guard is chosen as well because he has the cloaking ability. If you use the cloaking ability and you go and run around and gather all the power near like all those blisters that they were pointing out earlier, then he's going to be able to go through undetected and gather all that power and basically run on out without nothing ever happening. So that's basically kind of the strategy. We want to make sure that we use units that make sense. Now he's going to go run up here, go gather those supplies, and then he's going to go help these Banshees here by taking out some of the crystallized power close to the left blister. And if basically what a blister is one of those 3 flood producing things, like the big blister. These little blisters don't matter. They just produce a tiny bit of flood. Now, we also want to produce engineers. The engineers are going to be really important because we're going to keep 2 with our base, which is going to be with that small little force that we have defending our base. And then we're going to have all the rest of the engineers, basically a 3-to-1 ratio, Banshee to engineer. That way, when one of those aerial flood forms come in and like crash into one of our Banshees, we're able to heal that damage right away. Because if one of those, because if a low health Banshee gets destroyed by one of those, it converts into one of the flood infected Banshees. So we want to make sure that we prevent that stuff from happening as much as possible. Notice how I'm not going guns blazing into that flood area. I'm just trying to get the crystals that I can get right now. And a large part of this is keeping up with your where everything's at on the map. You want to make sure that you are using your control groups. You're going to want to make sure that you're using multi-command, basically like a multi-command. So like if you're on Xbox, like the way that you would do that is you would hold RT and then hit X a bunch of times on what you want to do. And then the control groups, you hold down the left trigger and then you just assign. That's basically all you have to do for this. Now, I keep 2 engineers here. If you see what I'm about to do here, you're going to essentially what goes on here is these Banshees here are just going to keep on doing exactly what they're doing, going around, getting all the power, while those at our base are just going to handle the flood wave that's coming from the east this time. So there's going to be, it goes to the left attack, then the right attack, and then you're going to get an attack from above. They're basically showing you the paths that you could be attacked from. Now, I accidentally lost some hunters there. Not the end of the world because the hunters, because our Banshees are pretty good against vehicles, so I'm not necessarily worried. And if we need to reinforce, we'll use our Banshees, which is another reason why we chose Banshees, is because the way I was thinking about Banshees was I want to be able to get around the map as fast as possible. I want to be able to keep attacking. But if my base is getting overrun, I want to be able to run all the way back to my base and protect it. So the Banshees are useful for that purpose. Now, this is in between this in between part. So anytime between 0% to like 90%, you're gonna send your honor guard out with your banshees. You're gonna basically follow the same path that your banshees took to gather all the power that your honor guard has to gather. So the honor guard will follow that same path that your banshees took to go destroy all that power, and then after that, once he's gathered all the power, if he's in a safe spot, he can help the banshees out by adding a little bit more DPS. Otherwise, he can just head back to base. He's kind of a liability in some ways, especially since that if you notice my banshees here do not have an engineer yet, so they're kind of at risk. If like a bunch of those aerial flood came in, they're basically I'm basically wiped at this point. But that's why I've been very careful at this point. Honor guard should be fine after getting these. Like, you got the Thrasher right there. He's fine. Now I'm gonna try to be as careful as possible, trying to move them back over to the base. I'm gonna add another Banshee and then an engineer, getting 3 to 1. I knew I was down one extra engineer. You typically don't want to have engineers. You don't want to have just one single healer. You want to have at least 2 healers before you go out and start attacking. But my honor guard was taking all that punishment, and I don't think those flood forms are going to be able to, like, those aerial flood are going to do too much against my banshees right now. Now I'm going to head over to this base here in the bottom left here. Now there's going to be a bunch of flood forms down here, as well as a series of flood basically there's a flood base down here, as well as a bunch of flood combat forms and infection forms. This is also what you want to do to make sure that you save up on your, like, basically maximizing efficiency. You want to take out the flood bases and the mini bases because you're going to be getting a ton of resources out of it. So I recommend very much going to go destroy these flood bases. Not to mention, it's also good for your end of the mission score. So we want to make sure that we maximize that again to get that gold medal. Now, continuing our upgrading, we have a bunch of money. We want to make sure that we are upgrading everything as we're going. Getting our air level 1 while we're at it. Once we have that, it's going to be pretty easy for us to start taking out a large swath of this map pretty quickly. So we're going to go get all these engineers over here. Now, I'm going to get Atriox's Bulwark really quick, and then we're going to send all of our forces, except for our Banshees over here, up to the top. Because what we're doing is, since we know where they're going to attack, it's the same pattern pretty much for the first 3. After that, it usually follows the same pattern. The next one should be left and the upper, and then it should be right and then the upper, and then it'll just be upper, and then it'll start stagnant. Like, it'll be kind of a it'll be offset just a little bit by like 30 seconds between them. So waiting to toss down a Rain of Fire. I'm gonna upgrade my Mega Turret really quick. Definitely want to use Rain of Fire. Decided to use Rain of Fire over upgrading my Mega Turret. There we go. Tossing down the Rain of Fire on the left side. It's whoever you see first. That's kind of how I do it. Keeping my eye on it. Okay, doing pretty good so far. Base is almost destroyed, and then we can clear out the rest of the flood in the area. That way we can go destroy all those crystallized power things, and then go gather it. Gonna go down here. Looks like we'll be fine. We're doing a good job repelling the flood attacks. Now, just gonna get another, because we lost those elite rangers. We're gonna need to keep up by replenishing our forces. Yeah, we didn't do too bad. We lost 1 unit in that attack. Not that bad at all. Oh, now 2 units. Grunt squad down. Definitely gonna get another Banshee. Need more DPS. Don't really care if they're attacking that tentacle, because eventually we will want to fight back against those tentacles, because there's 10 of them that we have to destroy for a mission objective. I don't know which one we're on right now. I think we're on like 1 or 2. Okay. Gonna go into cloaking. Doing pretty good. We have 20 banshees already. That's quite a bit. We're doing fine. That was close. Anyways, now with the honor guard, we have all these resources, and while our banshees are fighting against the flood, we can just go and use this honor guard and go gather all the resources. Now, you do not want to get any. You do not want to waste any of your resources on building a brand new base. You don't want to do that until after you've powered up all the drill. So once you have powered up the drill, then go ahead, spend all that money on getting extra bases. The only lost condition of this mission is really if you lose the drill. Other than that, you're fine. You can lose your base, as far as I know. Even though I don't recommend it, I would recommend holding it out because it's a pretty nice location, if I do say so. But gonna keep sending in our forces. We have a bunch of crystals here, so we're gonna be definitely wanting to gather here. So as you see here, that bus, it's called a burster, not a ballister. Wow. So these giant bursters here, well, you want to, for this first one, because you're going to see it come from the left, the other one's going to come from the right. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for where they actually come from, but I believe you can see which one they are because they start getting like super active. So you want to make sure that you keep an eye out. Like the way that burster is, if you can see it at the top of your screen, you'll see like it's kind of shaking, so you'll know that that's the one that's going to come from. So you can kind of predict where it's going to come from, and then you can move your forces down there if you wish. Alright, got air level 2. Definitely going to get some of these tentacles down. That way we can get that mission objective. It's a bonus objective. You don't have to do it, but bonus objectives yield points and, again, gold medal. Now, how are we doing on our... I think we're almost close to getting that leader point. Doing pretty good here. Almost there. There we go. We got that leader point. Definitely going to get a Lich Vanguard here. And as soon as we're going to use this Lich Vanguard to help our Banshees here repel this attack. So I'm looking over there. There you see that the top one. So I'm sending all my forces that I still have at my base over here down to the right side. I'm going to use the Lich Vanguard here right now. That way I can repel this attack right here, like as they came out. And then what I'm going to do is use the Rain of Fire to go help out my guys at the bottom right area. Here we go. Got ourselves that control group that we're going to be updating as we're going. Looks like reinforcements level 2 got done as well. Tossing down Rain of Fire. So, as you see here, we're like, it might be overwhelming, but at the end of the day, you just have to understand, like, just use your powers whenever whenever they're attacking you. Other than that, just use your Banshees. Like, you have a Lich Vanguard right there, which is really overpowered. Like, you're gonna see it do a really good job taking out all those tentacles as I'm kind of just doing my own thing with my Banshees. Like, see how it's just taking out a unit right there? It just focus fires. It's really good at handling these tentacles as well as the other flood combat forms in the area. Now, we're almost done with just the left side, which is really nice because once you finish the left side, you know you're about halfway done with the mission. And the way well, not half, I would say about a third of the way done with the mission, because you still have to figure out how to get to the... You still have to clear out the entire right side, and then you have to deal with the final fight with the Juggernaut floods and such like that. But as you see here, that Lich is just doing work on those tentacles, which is really nice for me because I didn't want to have my Banshees waste their time when they could be doing things like destroying crystals and getting getting me closer to the win condition. Now, the honor guard has a lot of power to get right now, so we're just gonna send him going around, gathering all the power that we got, and then we're gonna just continue on. We're gonna go take out that mini base really fast, and then we'll be done with this left side, and I think we'll be on time before the rupture to actually clear out the upper area as well. So we're going pretty quick right now. The only time you really slow down is the final part for getting that part time, and right now, like, you want to make sure that you, as I said, are being as economical as possible. Sometimes it's just not possible because you lose a lot of units, but that's also why I chose only supply-based units. I didn't want to have to spend power buying wraiths or other units. I could have gone full grunt squads, but I mean, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have been good at all either. I could have also gone blisterbacks, but blisterbacks are not necessarily the best. They're good for a defense if you want to go defensive, but you're going to lose a bunch of them anyway because the flood will get to a point where they will not like completely overwhelm you, but you're going to deal with quite a bit of flood. But if you want to boost your combat efficiency, I don't see why not. Alright, so I'm going to send the honor guard back here. Keeping an eye on what's going on over here. We're going to let the air units deal with any blisters that my honor guard accidentally activated. But instead of sending him back, we're just going to get air level 3, and we're also going to send the honor guard back out to go get those the power over here. But there's a reason why we kept all my banshees here, because I wanted to make sure that my banshees were able to be there when he inevitably would have activated something like that. So almost there, almost at the next rupture. So as you see there, that's where the next rupture is going to be. So we want to make sure that we anticipate it just like we anticipated the left one. We know it's going to be the left side, so we're going to send our forces over to the left, and we're going to send all the rest of my air units to go help and basically get ready for this rupture over here at the top. Unfortunately, I hate when they put you into one of these animations because the game does not pause the timer. It still goes. So in the bottom left, they just ruptured. And then in the middle here, the upper middle, they just ruptured as well. So not only am I dealing with this with a counter to my air, I'm also dealing with multiple attacks on multiple fronts. It was just really, really bad timing. I probably should have waited. But I'm going to toss down rain of fire there. Probably the best place to put that, honestly. And just going to keep using my air units to try to repel this attack. I'm going to move my air units to go and help the upper flank, and we'll see what happens with this because I was accidentally caught into in a bad spot. But let's see what happens. So far I lost 2 units. I lost a grunt squad and my locust. Not necessarily good, but so far it could have been worse. Got my lich ready. Keeping an eye out on what's going on down there. Alright, got that bonus objective completed with the mega turret. I'm glad that I'm currently able to handle this attack right now. So overall, I lost an engineer, a grunt squad, and a locust. So I'm not really thinking that was an absolute loss. Lost more than I wanted to, but overall we're doing fine. Gonna send all my forces back up there. Gonna keep at least 2, as I like to do, down here next to my forces. Gonna get more banshees as well as engineers. So for here, when you're up at the top, you want to. This is actually the hardest area to clear out, and there's a good reason. It's because of those little like crawly like. They spawn units. They spawn the counter to whatever you have. So for me, the best thing for me to do is just target getting the power, and then get out of there as fast as possible. Send the honor guard in, send him cloaked, and then get him out of there as well. We want to make sure that we get all the power we possibly can. I didn't need to get this power. Actually, the amount of power that I had left over at the end of this mission, I didn't have to be here, but I'm just showing you guys like how to handle this part. Other than that, the right side is going to be much easier than the left. It's going to take a lot less time because remember, we were still waiting to get our Banshees. We were getting our forces upgraded, but now we're in a place where I can just clear an entire area and just do that non-stop without any issues. I'm going to toss down Rain of Fire there, activate some of those blisters to make it easier for my honor guard to get through. They were going to be activated anyway, but in this case it's easier for my honor guard to get through. Take out that last tentacle, and there you go. That's all the tentacles. Alright, gonna send in the honor guard now, and then these guys will head over and help out my Banshee detachment still moving around. So, just checking up on anything else. Definitely gonna get Pack Brother because I still have some grunt squads out there, and I need their efficiency to still be better. Okay, doing okay. Almost get through. All right, just gonna help send all my guys to go. Send my honor guard towards my my Banshees to help them out, and then once we do that, gonna send the honor guard here. Gather these supplies here, or not supplies, but the power there. Mega turret just doing its thing. Unfortunately, we have this gigantic attack going on at base. One thing very underrated is map awareness. So you will want to be aware of what's going on the map, because when I saw what was going on, I was getting attacked in multiple areas, and I was getting swarmed. I could have probably lost a large portion of everything had I not responded quick enough. So right here, I thought, you know what, do I want to toss down my Lich right now? Do I want to just wait? It was actually a struggle. Like, I didn't know what to do at this point. That was my fault for having done the Rain of Fire to begin with. Micro away my honor guard. And as you see here, up at the top, it's getting a little dicey. Like, I'm losing a lot of things, and we're about to enter the next rupture. And yeah, this was a mistake, and it slowed down the full run by a solid couple minutes. Like, I still had to like rebuild, and I probably could have had better efficiency if I just never walked up to those blisters to begin with. But that's the part of like when you like watch your play, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again. Okay. And because of that, I lost 3 Banshees, so I need to replenish 3 Banshees. Got a Rupture coming from the right and the upper area, so definitely going to toss down a Lich, as well as my Rain of Fire. Lich is going to stay up here, help my Banshees clear out these forces. But the Lich should be able to handle this. I'm going to send my Banshees down here to go help out Pavium and that Honor Guard. And as you see here, like, because of what I did, like, I ended up being in a really, really bad spot. I got caught out by the flood here, so I lost way more than I should. But it didn't really slow down. Like, it wasn't game ending. Like, I didn't lose many buildings that were important. I only lost my turrets that are quick to replenish anyway. Alright. While the Lich is up, we're going to do all these turrets again. And then we're just going to head back out. Like, that was probably the hardest attack so far. So, going to send these engineers with them. Almost ready to start up those drills, but for now, still got a couple flood bases to take out, as well as just a little over 10,000 more to go. So 10,000 more power. You're gonna need 24,000 power to activate the drill. All right. Gonna start taking out this this flood base here. This is gonna be one of those outposts that were infected, so it's gonna be a bit. So gonna send in more banshees. Much faster on this base, as you see here. Like, it's doing a lot of damage to this base every single time it sends a volley out. Hoping that that turret stays alive. I'm gonna send everybody over here to the right side. Not the end of the world. Lost that turret. Was gonna need a replenish. Was gonna need to heal it anyway. So almost have that base. There we go. With that base down, we can just finish up this this last area, and then we're pretty much all set. I don't have much to spend my power on, so now I just need to make sure that I have that I save it. Okay. Gonna send in the honor guard now. Go gather all the power and the supplies from around the area. Once you have like level 3 and like a bunch of these banshees, like, you're just gonna handle everything much easier. Like, you're doing a lot of splash damage to the even like adjacent crystals, so gonna be, we should be ready, if not this rupture, but the next rupture. We might not even deal with the next rupture because I should have enough power to handle it. Almost there. Just a little over. Just a little over. Little under 5,000 remaining. I get my control group right there. Come on. Honor guard, you're supposed to be gathering all the power. Okay. Almost. A little over 4,000. 20% remaining until the next rupture. I think we're also near the one that is going to rupture too, so there's another one of those moments where right place, right time. Wait, actually no, as you see here, it's not really shaking a lot. So it's going to be the left and the upper area, so we're going to need to definitely be prepared for this. You get the honor guard to go gather all that power. About, oh, it's just gonna be close. I might not be able to power up the drill after. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, I know it's gonna happen. Unfortunate that I was only 125 power away from being able to power up the drill and only have to deal with this this rupture. But now I have to deal with one more. So it's okay though. Almost, like, we're almost done, so as you see, gonna see whoever was hoping for the lich, but it's fine. Oh, and as you see here, we're only coming from the north side, so we're gonna send all of our forces up, and then we'll get ready for the left flank. As you see here, all of our forces are ready for that, and then we're gonna use rain of fire there. Gonna use Atriox's bulwark, gives them a little bit of invincibility. I'm not gonna waste Lich Vanguard there. I'm gonna use it down here. That way, like, I mean, hey, having a Lich is pretty nice. So, gonna need one engineer. I think we lost one of them. But as you see, like, we're not necessarily struggling a lot to fight against the flood forms coming up and attacking. Like, we're really handling it by using our leader powers well, and making sure that we're just in the right place, keeping an eye on the map at times, and really just focusing on, like, trying to get to that win condition. We're trying to get that power. We're trying to be very smart with our money. And again, that's kind of like the entire thing that we need to do. We just need to be really economical. Now, okay, got just several infected marauders, but Nothing that my Mega Turret and just one Hunter Duo can't handle. Okay. Just let the Honor Guard help out with that. Keeps tanking all the damage from the Marauder. Alright, so this is the final rupture that we're going to have to deal with. We're basically going to be ready as soon as we're... honestly, as soon as we deal with that rupture, we're pretty much set for the rest of the... we're basically in the final phase of the mission. You'll have enough leader powers to kind of just like get the entire wheel, so don't feel like you should prioritize Rain of Fire first, then Atriox's Bulwark, get Lich Vanguard, and then whatever you want to do after that is completely up to you. So your first like 7 leader power tokens are going to be really important to choose from. But there you go. We have all the power. Now we're just going to wait the 3 minutes and 14 seconds for it to get calibrated, which is really nice, because now we can just spend 3 minutes 14 seconds just going around making sure that we're prepped for the next rupture. We've already spent we already activated the drill, so all we need to do now is, with the remaining power, is do whatever we want with it. We can use it for leader powers, we can use it to upgrade our base, you can do whatever you want with it. You will have plenty of power as well, because they're going to send more to where we gathered all that power earlier. So it's going to be... We're also going to spend this time going around clearing out the last remaining flood base. And that'll be it. And we would have done pretty much every major bonus and optional objective that we could. We just need to make sure that we can get those Juggernauts when they show up. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen. They got through. But it's really hard to do so. I think you'll need to use Pavium, but I wasn't able to get to him as fast as I could. So, unfortunate for me. I wish I was able to do that, because that would have meant I would have gotten all the objectives done. Alright, there we go. Got all of our Banshees in a control group. Just going to clear out the last remaining bits of power in the bottom right, and then we're going to get ready for base defense.
What do you wish of me? Forward. On the move.
Almost. As I said earlier, like, you're going to end this mission pretty wealthy. Like, I almost have 9,000 power, and I did, like, just went around the map the entire time. But you do not need to like gather every single bit of power. You could stop after you get 8,000. I didn't, because I wanted to make sure that I had more than enough money. I got 99 problems, but my economy ain't one. So at about a minute left for the drill calibration, blisterbacks will show up and try to destroy your defenses. It's kind of it's just gonna happen like basically there's no going around it. You have to deal with it. We're gonna send our Banshees, as we have before, to go defend the north, and we're gonna send the rest of our forces to go defend the eastern flank. Now our Mega Turret will try its best to defend, but we want to try to repel this attack as fast as possible, because we want to make sure that as soon as that timer up there hits 0, we are ready to go. We want to make sure that we are ready to start this next phase, which is just defend the base, get ready to deal with a bunch of flood. We're almost there, though. 5 seconds left. Got just this wave of flood to deal with, and then we're done. Gonna keep everybody together for a little bit. Got a Lich Vanguard on standby. A little slow on this. Could have been optimized better on the timing for the rupturing, or I could have just traded and said, like, you know what, my small detachment goes up there, and then my air units go down there. But now that you are in the middle of basically the final phase, go around, go gather those bases, go do what you want to go do. Make sure that you are ready and you are fully macroed up, because it is really, really just this final part. If you lose the drill, it's over. You want to make sure that you have engineers ready to go and defend the drill. So I have my forces here still. I'm going to send my air units to go around the map for me. They're going to go around, and we're going to build on basically every single plot that we can. Okay. Just waiting for the power, the crystallized power to come back up again. Okay. Gonna get that 2-slot mini base. Gonna head down to go get this base down there. Make sure that I don't know where. Curious where that flood aerial unit went.
Pavium, it's grown quiet. Could we have finally pushed them back?
You know better than that, brother.
So after that little bit of dialogue, they're going to toss up some more crystallized power for you around your base. So that was pretty much like we're just going to be building around for right now. But there you go. As you see there, all these power. Now, cool thing is that you can use your right trigger and hit X, and then you'll create a sequence of commands that you will want your group up there to be able to do. You'll have more than enough time to gather all that before they send in an attack wave. So, but once the attacks start, it's pretty much non-stop the entire time. You just want to make sure that you are more than prepared for after they start attacking. Gonna go gather that last. Gonna go build on that last base.
We've taken everything we can here. Onwards.
It's also nice because I get to go around and get a little bit more combat efficiency. Gonna just go around, upgrade everything, because why not? Like, I have more than enough money now. Get that stronghold. Yeah, just gonna keep up with the apex. Just in case, again, like, if I lose my base.
Augmented harvester upgrade complete.
We didn't. I didn't lose. Like, even on the final fight, I wasn't that bad. I could have probably just used the orbital designator to like reveal that area and then built on that plot rather than send my banshees. But why not? Like, it's super close by, and then after that, I'll send the banshees back to go defend. Hoping that, yeah, it's rough when you have to still defend like your base that you're building, even though you're about to get attacked by some large swarm of the flood. There we go. Almost done. Okay, now we have the Juggernaut. This is the super unit for the flood. Now, the issue with these guys is that they are pretty quick. Your goal is to try to intercept this as fast as possible. Problem is this. It's just not going to be... It's just not... It's really, really hard to intercept it correctly. Like, you're trying to... Like, for me, I was trying to intercept it, but the issue was is it already had gotten so far into... my base that I could, like, right here, that you want to try to intercept it as soon as it's coming out, but unfortunately I couldn't hit this this Juggernaut nearly as fast as I wanted to. I was almost able to get it away from the drill, but unfortunately it was able to hit all the salvage drills.
So, it is a fight they desire.
Okay. I was about to say, like, thought they were all attacking. But here you go. Got one of the super units down. Gotta take out this other Juggernaut. Lich is doing a pretty good job at repelling the attack. Definitely a good time for heals. Yeah, it's even this part is not a like if you have all your banshees still here, like it's not that stressful. Like just make sure that you separate when you need to, send in your forces, make sure that you are looking at your minimap, seeing where they're coming from, and making sure that you're ready, like you're ready for this attack. Like as you see here, like all my defenses are doing fairly well. Like I'm losing a little bit, but I'm not like getting destroyed, you know what I mean? This is the part where they just start sending everything in. Once we repel this though, we're good. It's another juggernaut right there. Toss down a little rain of fire. As like 5,000 power still. I could have probably been, like, and I still have power around my base. Gonna send everybody up here, see if we can repel all the attacks. Okay. Now, if you handle that first attack pretty well, what's gonna happen now is that you're gonna deal with a small little intermission, because I said it was gonna be basically non-stop, right? And it was for a little bit. But now what they're gonna do is they're gonna send a full bore assault on you with multiple juggernauts again, and then they're just gonna, like, that's basically how this mission ends. You're just gonna, the drill progress is not made by how much time that you spend here. It's based on the total, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? It's based off of the amount of flood you've killed so far. And juggernauts are really, really good for getting drill progress. So notice whenever I kill some of the flood, like the drill is moving. And it speeds up the more flood I kill. Okay. Trying to get those guys back underneath the shield. That juggernaut not going down without a fight, but it's also running away. Too much damage. I got a juggernaut up there now, so gotta handle that. Almost done. Just deciding, like, you know what I want to build? Just some turrets around here. This mission, probably the hardest one, other than probably the next one. Because there's a lot going on. But there you go. We are, all it takes is one of these juggernauts to go down, and we would have done it. Oh my god! I tossed a rain of fire on my banshees, but there you go, guys. That was Rain of Fire on legendary difficulty. Once you get this cutscene, you've beaten the mission. That was a long time. I know we're sitting already like 48-ish minutes into the video, but that's, if you follow this 100%, like if you just dedicate to practicing this strategy, I promise you'll get that gold medal. Anything else that I should probably talk about before we hit that main screen? Or the reward screen. Or not the reward screen, the post-game report. I don't think there's anything else other than, yeah, just keep practicing it. Like, it took a long time for me to kind of, and this is even the perfected strategy. I could have been faster. I could have done a lot of things differently. But now that we're in the final screen, 142,000 good enough for a gold medal, 2 bonus objectives. Got both of the campaign logs, as you saw earlier, and then the optional objectives. The only one that we didn't do was prevent the juggernauts from getting to the drills. About a 47-minute time. You could definitely speed this up and optimize it really, really well. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys did, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And yeah, also hang out. We're almost done with the Awaken the Nightmare, and that would all bring us to the end of Halo Wars 2. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you guys next time for Awakening the Nightmare mission number 4. Thank you guys for watching.